Let's make lemonade. Let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go!
Six!
It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Monday. Happy start to November. Everything's off to a good start. If you're listening on the auto stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for dialing in. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button. We love those subscribers to our channel. Give this video a like. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. And, of course, you can follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Travis Justice. He's the man, the myth, the legend, Ross Peterson. What's going on, everybody?
Any of those things. I know I'm a man, myth, and legend. Push back on those. Not much, man. No. Excited for a fun week after a wild weekend. Got my buddy Joel, who I met in Vegas. Remember I was telling you about Joel? He's listening this morning, delivering hogs, making bacon for everybody. Making bacon.
I can smell the bacon.
That's right.
Smell the bacon.
Yeah, it's one of those funny things. You have bacon and eggs for breakfast. That's a day's work for the pig or for the chicken. It's a life's commitment for the pig.
Day's work for the chicken, a life commitment for the pig.
And Joel's out there hauling those bad boys around so we can enjoy all that. So thanks for listening, Joel.
I was happy all weekend long on social media. I didn't see anybody bitch about the time change. Of course, we fell back on Saturday night
because everybody loves the fall back.
Personally, I like the spring forward because I know it's. Hear me out, because I know when we spring forward, it's going to be light to like 9:15 or 9:15 at night. I love lots of daylight.
Agreed. Everybody agreed with that. We all love the extra daylight. Nobody loves losing the hour of sleep. And I will tell you, this has been a new one for me this year because like last Wednesday, I woke up Audrey and she's like, "It's like 3 a.m. Why are you? It's so dark outside." So when we fall back, I got to tell her this weekend, hey, by the way, when I wake you up on Monday, it might actually be a little bit more daylight. So I'd never experienced that because I guess we usually wake up when it's dark.
Well, for a guy that naturally wakes up at 3:30 in the morning, falling back's not a good thing because 2:30 came around. I'm like, oh my God, I can't get up. I'm like, I don't want to get up.
But again, we fell back, so you got an extra hour in there. So it was It was 4:30 when you woke up at 3:30.
No, I woke up at 3:30. Whatever it was, I woke up and it was 2:30, which would have been 3:30 because I normally get up at.
Yeah, that's just stupid. That's just stupid.
I know.
That's your fault.
It is my fault. 100% my fault.
Do you go to bed at like 4 in the afternoon?
Last night, because I got pretty drunk yesterday. Let's see. I got really drunk yesterday. I went to bed at 7:04 p.m. last night. According to my watch. That's pretty early. Yeah, I try to normally I've noticed that if I stay up till 10 and I get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, my body's just I think that 8:30, 9 o'clock spot is now about perfect for me. But again, because the vodka and soda was flowing yesterday, I happened to just kind of fall asleep, pass out at 7 o'clock.
I'm not a big drinker. You know that.
I know drinker.
That. And I kind of trying to get rid of it, honestly. But it's like social media. I can't quit it. The Friday night, went out with Bill Blank. We went to the Bone Thugs and Harmony concert. Bone, 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 bone. Hung out with Ray for a little while. Had the funniest interaction I've ever had in my life with a random stranger. Could have sworn the lady was an undercover cop. Could have sworn she was an undercover cop.
So what made it odd? What made it weird? Go ahead and tell the story. Tell.
It was very strange. Bill and I are standing there. Bill had gotten us tickets for the like the VIP lounge up there at the Valor Ballroom, which was awesome. It was amazing. When we walked in, we saw Ray our buddy Ray, right? Well, Ray was, doing his Ray thing, moving back and forth, and we were hanging out with Ray for a little bit, and I'm helping him get back and forth from his seats to his little area that he needed to go to. And at some point, this lady comes up to me and Bill, and she's like, "Hey, I've never, I don't know how to, I'm curious. How can I? Is there? How do I? Can I get marijuana?"
Here, I thought she was going to ask you for sex, but no, she wanted marijuana. You're thinking. I'm thinking, man, how can I bang you two at the same time?
No.
But no, that was not it.
No.
That was not it.
Like, what?
That first thing, you're right. I would have thought you're an undercover cop. Nobody normally does this.
I even said to her at one point, I said, "Listen, I know you're not, but you could not sound more like an undercover cop if you tried right now."
What'd she say when you said that? When you said that to her, did she?
I think she was embarrassed, and then it was like, and then she made the ultimate faux pas. She's like, "Well, I have money." No. Why? Get the hell out of here. What are you doing?
I have money. Can I ask a simple question?
Yeah.
Why did she select you and Bill for weed smokers?
We had hung out with Ray for, you know what I mean? And I think that
the contact smell?
Yeah, we must have had a little bit of that residual smell with us, right? So it was hilarious. It was absolutely hysterical. And I remember she said it, and I was just like backed away. I'm like, what is happening here?
So everybody, inquiring minds want to know, did they succeed in finding their weed?
I didn't pay attention long enough to see. At the rate that she was on, I doubt it. with the approach that I saw, I'm going to go with no.
See, I've never purchased marijuana before in my life. I've only taken... I've only smoked it maybe 3 or 4 times my entire life. I'm not you know me, I'm not a weed smoker. That's not my thing. I would probably be like her if I was in search of it. Ross, Bill, do you have any weed for me? And you'd be like, no.
I'd be like, get out of here. No.
Oh, man. Was it a good concert, though?
It was a fun concert. I had a great time with Bill. We had some, dude, every time I'm with my buddy Bill, we have the absolute best conversations. He is such a fun guy to talk to. He's a super smart guy. He has the absolute best stories. Like, the guy lives a life that we should just strap a GoPro to Bill Blank's shoulder and make it a reality show, because the stuff that happens to that guy, it is out of a movie, man. It's so funny. So he's we had a wonderful conversation about life, and he's written this he's getting ready to do a special, and I don't know that what he wrote is going to be a part of the special, but man, he wrote this piece that applies to every single human being, man. I'm not kidding you. It is fantastic. It's about his love affair with comedy. But it's more than that. It's way, way more than that. It is about having a passion, having a love for something that cannot love you back. For me, when I read this, it was very much about radio. It was about my time in radio. How you give and you give and you give and you keep and there are these fleeting moments where it gives back to you, right? You get to go to the Rose Bowl, you get to go to an all-star game for a Major League Baseball, you get to go experience all this incredible stuff. You get to meet your heroes, and at the same time, it's impossible for that thing to love you back the way that you love it.
What we do I love you. I take it you love me.
Yes, very
in
much.
a total platonic way. But
Yep.
but what we do does not love us back.
As the kids would say, no diddy.
Yeah, no diddy, no diddy. But the medium does not love us back. We have to love, and it's always a one-way transaction.
You know the Garth Brooks song "Rodeo"?
Yeah,
that's it. What Bill wrote is
the comedy version of Rodeo.
It's a comedy version of that. It's all this other stuff involved in it that I'm really in love with. And it was just super cool. So had an awesome conversation with Bill that night. And then Saturday night went to a Halloween party, a costume party with Courtney, where Brooks Reynolds had invited us. Ended up with Scott Sipker and Chris Meharry. And again, same sort of thing. With Scott, just sat there and laughed for an hour straight. We sat there and had an awesome conversation and giggled like little schoolgirls and had a ton of fun. And, of course, you're with Brooks, so that's every conversation with Brooks is dynamic. And Meharry's there. Meharry had – did you see my picture of Meharry?
No.
Oh, dude, he was wearing a band leader costume. He had the hat, he had the vest, he had the pants. He'd found this old high school marching band outfit at a Goodwill. And then, of course, in true Chris Meharry fashion, had a giant Prince symbol printed onto the back of it, embroidered onto the back. So, fun night. But I only bring that up because both of those nights, Travis, I found myself drinking vodka drinks.
No, that's what I hit it hard last night. Vodka with soda and a lime. That was my drink of choice. That is my drink of choice these days because it has 0 carbs in it. And I'm anti-carb until I was starving last night. And Owen, myself, Lizzie, and Anjanette down 2 Domino's pizzas like it was the last thing on earth. But I'm like, and she's like, you ordered 2 pizzas? 5 minutes later, they're gone. She goes, are those pizzas gone? They're gone. They're gone. You mentioned something not loving you back, and it's and the truth is, I understand what Bill is writing about, and this is the segue into the sports segment of this portion of the show, and that is the sport will not love you back. Cyclone fans are feeling that right now. Cyclone team members are feeling that right now, and that it will give you bits and moments of thrills. But eventually, you have the agony of defeat. And now Iowa State has lost 4 in a row. We did a special Black and Gold Rush Cyclone edition after the game. If you didn't watch it, you can go back on our YouTube channel or on our podcast channels and listen to it. But I promise you right now, Cyclone fans are going, what'd we do? What did we do? Everything was set up for a great season. We even admitted on that show how we were wrong. You go back 5 weeks, Ross. You and I are talking about this team's going to be set up for the college football playoff. We saw a path forward. We saw grand illusions of postseason play, of competing for a national championship. They're out the window. Right now, you have to ask yourself, does Iowa State end the season with a winning record? We have to ask that now. I think they do because they have Oklahoma State on the schedule. But you have TCU left, you have Kansas left, and you have Oklahoma State left. You have to wonder, is this team going to finish with 6 wins?
You got to win one of those to be bowl eligible. And man, hope is a dangerous thing. That's the line from Shawshank, right? Hope is a dangerous thing. Cyclone fans had hope. We had hope for the Cyclones early in the season. We had hope for it. We looked around at the landscape and thought, damn, dude, this is a team that could be in the college football playoff. Look at what Matt Campbell has done with this program in the time he's been there. Now they're going to be perennial playoff contenders. They're going to be in this conversation every year because they're one of the premier programs in the Big 12. It's really hard to make that case today. It's really hard to make that case after 4 straight losses. And, Rocco just doesn't look like the same Rocco. And several people said to us on Saturday, goes back to that hit in Cincinnati. You go back to that game against the Bearcats and that hit that he took, and he just hasn't looked the same since then. Now, I hate to pinpoint it on that thing, and I'm using Cyclone fans' words on that. But, man, they get the ball back with a minute and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
They're on their own 40-yard line, and you and I both said, you said it first, they're going to win this game. They got Rocco. It's just not the same. And that hope, you're holding on to that hope, at least we were. Maybe, and I'd love to hear from more Cyclone fans. We got to hear from several of them on Saturday when we did the show, but I'd love to hear from more about how they were feeling on Saturday. Because, Trav, and I know that the rain came in and that chased off a lot of people. But that stadium, when they get the ball with that minute 20 left, that stadium does not look like it's supposed to look. They have a chance to win that football game. They have a chance to stem this tide, to turn things around. And, dude, they pan back, and it's 60% full. Now, I know a lot of people had left their seats to go take their shirts off and go stand up in the section, which I did think was super duper cool. I think that's hilarious because it started with just like a couple of guys up there, and the camera hit them, and they're like, "Uh-oh, it's going to happen." And then the next time it went up there, the entire section was full. But the rain chasing out a lot of fans, I think, had something to do, a very tiny bit. It's the performance, but I'm wondering if Cyclone fans have kind of lost a little bit of that hope. Certainly now after the fourth straight loss they have. But I mean, in that game, if it didn't feel like we don't have it today, I don't know. But it was disappointing to see, and that hope is now gone for what that season could have been.
Hindsight's being 2020, and when they beat Iowa, which is their best win of the year, by the way, should we have seen maybe a crack in the foundation in that Arkansas State game? Remember, they needed to come from behind to beat Arkansas State. And that was they won the game, but it was not impressive. Arkansas State not a great football team by any means, a team that Iowa State should beat up on. And we kind of wrote it off of, you're on the road, you took it for granted. But at the end of the day, hindsight being 2020, because we had the luxury of looking back now, do we go, maybe there was signs in the Arkansas State game that led us believe that this team was not as formidable as we originally thought?
I mean, they did go on and the next week and beat I think they'd had a bye week there before they played Arizona, because wasn't it 4-4 between the bye weeks? But they did go out and kick the crap out of Arizona after that. And I remember that's what a good team does to a bad team, is they go out and push them around like that. And now, I mean, Arizona's 2-3 in the Big 12. They're 5-3 overall. Iowa State's 2-4 and 5-4. So they're right there with Arizona on the standings. In fact, Arizona is actually a half game ahead of them. I don't know. Maybe we should have with the Arkansas State game. I think that's still an easy one to look at and go, man, that's a classic trap game. You came off your trip to Dublin. You come off the game with Iowa. You've got an inferior opponent that's at home. By the way, that game was on the road for Iowa State. I don't know. That's fair to say, but I do think they came out that next week, the next game, and beat the crap out of Arizona. That's what they were supposed to do. It really seems to me, Travis, like it's the Colorado game that was the uh-oh.
Yes, because you lose to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a top 20 team. I don't know if it was at the time, but we knew Cincinnati was a good team. You lose to BYU, which statistically, you kick the crap out of BYU statistically. Statistics don't matter. The scoreboard matters, right? And but the Colorado game is the one you go, because Colorado's bad. I mean, Colorado is real. I mean, Deion Sanders had to cut off player interviews this past weekend. They got blown out again. Just not a good showing. Deion's promising he's gonna right the ship in Boulder. But when you look at it now, you look at the losses they have, and you go, that Colorado one is a bad loss. And then you get beat by BYU, and then, of course, Arizona State, man, they ran for 290 yards. I sat on here last Monday or Tuesday, and I said, Jeff Sims, he's a turnover machine. He threw a pick, fumbled twice. But the dude ran all over Iowa State. I said you have to be ready for Jeff Sims. He's an athlete. He can make things happen. Somebody said it earlier. I mean, and he's a man. He's in his 6th year. Somebody said earlier that he actually played against Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's how long he's been playing college football. When he was at Georgia Tech, he played against Trevor Lawrence when he was still at Clemson. That's how long Jeff Sims has been wearing a college uniform. So I don't know where Iowa State goes from here, because as we officially said,
old at his 3rd university, or is he at a 4th university?
He's at his 3rd university. Started at Georgia Tech, went to Nebraska, then went to Arizona State.
Yeah.
But we can officially say, and we talked about this on Saturday, this Iowa State season is officially a disappointment. I mean, there's no other way to look at it.
Especially from where they just 5-6 weeks ago, you look at what the potential was, you look at where the hope was. There's no doubt about it. Everybody has to look around and say that. And you can chalk it up to a ton of injuries. You can chalk it up to a few plays. You can chalk it up to Rocco Becht getting hurt in Cincinnati and not quite having that same outcomes. I don't even know what other way to put it besides that. He's just not performing the same way here recently. You can chalk it up to a lot of that stuff. I imagine that Matt Campbell is having a lot of those same conversations that Coach Stepsis is having inside of his locker room. What are we doing wrong? How do we have this many guys hurt? How are we losing these games in these fashions? Because it did feel like they had moved over that hurdle. That hurdle of, and we find ways to lose games, now we find ways to win games. And it looked like that was what was happening. They beat Iowa with a last-second field goal, and Iowa has turned out to be a damn good football team. So, yeah, man, disappointing. I saw one earlier here. I want to try to go back and share this because I think it was dude from Iowa. The losing streak has set this program back years. That's an interesting comment. And I'm guessing what he means by that is losing 4 in a row is the type of thing that makes recruits change their mind. Watching you lose to Colorado, watching you give up 200-some rushing yards to a quarterback, that's the type of stuff that might make recruits go, man, do I want to go play at Iowa State? I'm just guessing that's what he's kind of referring to there. That this sort of loss, this sort of losing streak can have a lasting impact.
I was listening to on my way back from Des Moines on Saturday. I was listening to John Walters and Eric Heft, and they're trying to make it sound good, but they're like, the culture is what's going to keep this team together, and I'm never going to doubt the culture at Iowa State. I think there's an athletic department-wide culture, but culture is only going to take you so far. You still have to win football games. You can't rely on culture 100%. You can great, you all get along, you're all positive, but culture only takes you so far. Culture's great when you're winning. Culture gets tested when you're losing. And they're going to go on the road this weekend, Ross. They're already a 6.5-point underdog, I believe, at TCU, in danger of losing their 5th straight with 3 to go. Again, it's possible. I don't think it happens that they don't get to 6 wins this year. But they've got to overcome a lot. One of the scary moments in Saturday's game was the hit on Ben Bramer, and it wasn't the hit that was scary. I mean, it was a clean hit. It was a legal hit. There was nothing dirty about the hit. The scary part was when he got up and then collapsed again. They took him to Mary Greeley Hospital, and I think it was just more for a precautionary thing, but he's been released from the hospital. Good. We'll probably hear tomorrow whether he's available for the action this week against TCU and where he lies. But, man, that was a very, very scary moment.
As scary as they come, man. That was – and just even the television production, which they obviously can't plan this, but – the way the camera was even zoomed in on him as he went down, and then they come back from their break and he's still in that same position. Travis, I'd never seen that X motion before. Is that something that you'd seen before? The trainer goes running out, and the first trainer that gets to Ben instantly turns around. He looks to that northwest corner of the stadium, and he gave a big X, or she gave a big X. And then another trainer was running out there, got about 5 feet away, and did the same thing. Turned around.
Probably
and did this big,
get the card out there as soon as you can.
Yeah, something to that effect. And
515
scary stuff, man, for everybody there.
517-2303. Let's go to John. John, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, John? John, are you there?
John's not there. I didn't hear anything.
All right.
Try it again.
Let's see. AJ's on hold. Let's see if AJ can hear us. AJ, can you hear us?
I'd say this is a you problem.
Yeah, I believe it is a me problem.
Sounds like it.
It is a me problem. That's
John
weird.
and AJ, you guys hold on if you can. We'll try to get.
Yeah, that's. I'm going to disconnect and reconnect during the break. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. Good to have you along on a Monday. Mory Hank's going to be joining us at 7:30. Mory runs Global Sports Management. They are producing the Iowa Bucknell game at the Casey Center. And oh, by the way, believe it or not, today is the opening day of college basketball. Over 100 games on tap, including Iowa State. And Drake Ross just shaking his head going, not ready for this. Not ready for this.
Basketball doesn't start for another month, dude. What are you talking about?
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes, no artificial dyes, and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Prosnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
This is Darcy at Willis Chevrolet. When's the last time that you got new tires? From now till the end of November, we are offering buy 3 tires, get 1 for $1. Our extreme savings. Also, if you sign up for a GM credit card, you can get another $250 off the price of the 4 tires. So it's a win-win. Give us a call today, and we can price you a set of 4, or visit us online to set up an appointment at willischevy.com.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Are you ready to take the next big step in your love story? We've got tons of stunning new engagement ring styles in stock. Whether you're drawn to timeless classics or modern sparkle, there's something here that'll take your breath away. Dreaming of a one-of-a-kind ring? You won't find a better team to help bring it to life. Our custom design experts are here to walk you through every step, making sure your vision shines through in every detail. Come see us in Ankeny. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I like this song.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson.
Get the phone lines.
We're here till 8 o'clock today, and we do want to welcome Fiskus Jewelers and Noel Fiskus to the Rush Radio family. It's always good when new supporters come on board. We've had a relationship with Noel for a long, long time.
I hate to call Noel a new supporter. It's nice to have old friends back, right?
Yes. And of course, the holidays are right around the corner. And if if you're going to pop the question, just saying, Ross.
Relax on that. Okay, we're working towards that. We've got a lot of pieces to move around on the chessboard. But dude, it's funny. I told Courtney. I said, "Hey, Fiskus Jewelers I just got a message." Got a message from our friend Jenna. She's like, "Hey, Fiskus is coming on board." I was like, "Yes, hey, Fiskus Jewelers is coming on." She's like, "Does that mean we should do some ring shopping?"
Wow, that's putting the pressure on.
Guess we gotta do that.
See, I would tell you, you know what? You don't need to do that. You're happy. You're consenting adults. You spend enough time together.
Why put labels on it? Why do we need to put labels on it?
Why label it?
That always seems like a saying a guy says when he's about to break up with his girlfriend. When we were in Ireland, we were with my friend Patrick, and in his, I kept saying girlfriend Mora. I mean, we went and stayed at her house for 3 days. We got drunk in her kitchen and danced to the Cranberries. At night, he goes and sleeps in her room, and I make the mistake of going, "Yeah, we're with Patrick and his girlfriend Mora." And they're like, yeah. No labels.
No labels?
What the hell is that?
My wife is convinced that, if she goes, if I die, you'll remarry within a month. I go, no, I won't. No. She goes, you need to be. I go, there's a difference between being in need with somebody and needing to get remarried. I go, I don't see myself if you were to die, God forbid.
She's way overestimating your value in the open market.
Man, you hit where it hurts, man. You hit where it hurts.
Listen, here's the other thing that I also know. I also know what's available on the other end and what your standards would be for a new mate. It would take a while. I promise you. It would take a while for you to find somebody. First of all.
What, that would wait on me hand and foot?
No, I don't mean it like that. No, you don't need that. You don't need that. Know what it would take a while. If that tragic thing were to happen, dude, first of all, you'd mourn for years.
I would.
Yeah. And then outside of that, once you started looking, I know I'd get some phone calls that would be like, "Dude, have you ever been on a dating app before?" I'd say, "Nope."
Yeah, the dating apps I don't quite understand, and I don't think I would do that. And this is all hypothetical. It's not going to happen. I mean, if she hasn't left me by now, she's never going to leave me.
I listen. It's just us boys chatting here, so I can say this. This weekend, I'm talking with a friend who has been on the dating apps, and he says, I just decided a long time ago I wasn't going to pay for any dating apps, so the only one that I do is the Facebook dating app. And I said, "Oh, how is that?" And he kind of shot me a look, and I said, "Slim pickings?" And he said, "Slim ain't the word."
Let's see if this works. I reconnected over the break. John, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, yep, John, I think gotcha. I know what the problem is. I think I figured out what the problem is, and it's user error, yes, but it's inside the software where we change for the black and gold rush. But anyway, John, what do you got going on?
I wanted to talk Iowa State football, and I'm a big Iowa State fan. Wanted to know if you think maybe this is a blessing in disguise as it relates to Matt Campbell and all these coaching openings.
Oh, wow.
Nobody wants to lose, of course, but if you're ever going to have a season that's disappointing like this, maybe this is the year to have it.
I know what you mean, but I think athletic directors are smart enough to go, you're going to have up seasons, you're going to have down seasons. There are now 8 Power 4 jobs open. And there are some really good jobs open. Possibly, you're right, John. A fan base would not be happy with a coach that wins 5, maybe 6 games. I totally get that. And you could be onto something because he couldn't go to Auburn. Auburn fans would actually lose their mind.
Can't go to LSU.
Can't go to LSU. No, Penn State, who knows who's going to get some of these jobs. But At the end of the day, who's the number one coaching candidate out there right now? It's Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin can have any job he wants. He's the most popular guy on the market. The guy at Missouri is pretty popular right now. But much like the NBA, much like Major League Baseball, a lot of these teams are going to be using retreads. Kelly's probably going to get a job somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
James Franklin's going to get a job somewhere. So you go, okay, do you want a retread, a guy who just got fired anyway, or do you want a guy that's built a program at a place most people would tell you is pretty hard to build a program? Yeah. You might be onto something, but I don't know if it's going to be as the deterrent that one thinks. But Matt Campbell's not going to leave for any other job rather than a big job. I don't think he would. You leave Iowa State for Penn State, right? I mean, if Penn State comes calling, you don't really have a choice but to go, I'm probably going to take that. LSU, same thing, except for they're so messed up with their own administration right now. Florida calls, yeah, you get that. But you're not going to leave for Arkansas. I don't know. I don't think Arkansas is a better job than Iowa State. No. Might be from an NIL standpoint, but you're still buried in the SEC where it's going to be hard to compete. We saw Rhett Lashley commit to SMU over the weekend. What we're seeing now are programs, as Ross says, you find out who's got the money. And we're starting to see that a lot of teams have money right now. And they're willing to make the investment to keep their coach. But these coaches have won. I mean, at least they're getting rewarded for providing metrics and analytics and accountability to justify their salaries.
And listen, I think that what John is doing here, you're trying to find the silver lining in a really dark cloud. And I admire that. I really do. I think that is I kind of like what you're saying here. I know you're a lot of people in the comment section. Don't pull up the comment section, John, just so you know, because a lot of people in the comment section are not happy with you.
Yeah,
but that's okay. I think that you're trying to find you're trying to find the good in what has been a crappy month here that has destroyed that hope and those things. I think that's fair because first of all, the very first thing that I hear as soon as Iowa State starts to lose a game are my Hawkeye friends going, "Oh, nobody's going to want Coach Campbell now." I think Travis is probably right that most of these athletic directors can look past a couple of losses, but I also know that fan bases, especially at those programs that Travis mentioned, and those jobs that I think Matt Campbell would have seen as an absolute step up and something that could actually change his life and change his perspective in the world, those places, 4 straight losses matter. To those fan bases that really want the next hot big thing, if you've got your eyes on Lane Kiffin as a coach, you're going to be really pissed off when they hire 4 straight loss Matt Campbell. So I think that's fair. I think that's
sell
a fair
that to your fan base.
Right. And I get it. You're trying to find that.
Can I say real quick?
Go ahead, John.
No, I'm sorry. Can I just say real quick, too? I am trying to find the positive because, to be honest with you, over the weekend, and I played golf with some friends yesterday, and people are just bitching, and I'm like, okay, listen, who do you think we are? Like, a lot of those games that we've lost the last 4, with maybe exception of Colorado, could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And, like, I just find the arrogance of my fellow fans to be very off-putting. Like, the program's in a pretty good spot. Yes, they've had some 4 disappointing losses, but I feel like part of that expectation was over where they really probably are. And, I was just disappointed. I was disappointed in the crowd in general, like even prior to the rain and stuff. That's not the Cyclone fans that I know growing up in Ames my whole life.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, and this was always the day, because I've seen it with a lot of fan bases. Kansas State being one. All of a sudden, when Kansas State got really good, they forgot that at one point it was the worst job in college football before Bill Snyder took it, and they felt entitled. The last thing you want Iowa State, and I think what you're hearing is your fellow fan buddies almost have that entitlement to them now, right? And it's a dangerous place to get because there's going to be ebbs and flows to this. You're right. I think the program's in a good spot. I mean, culture-wise, we're huge fans of Jamie Pollard. Everybody knows how we feel about Jamie Pollard. And this just happens. You hope it's not a long-term thing, and they could lose this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost this weekend. But I do. Right. I'm with you. I think the program's in a good spot.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
There is this human nature thing that we should talk about here. There is a human nature thing of wanting more. You get something and you go, okay, what's next? All right, I want more now. I just want a little bit more. And man, when you've got that hope, just 5-6 weeks ago, everybody is like, man, this team, look at the top 15 team. They're looking good. They're going to be one of the better teams in the Big 12. Everybody wants more.
515.
Not necessarily a bad thing from a fan base, I should say. So go ahead.
515-517-2303. Let's go to AJ up there in Clear Lake. AJ, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm back. I got cut off, but I'm good now.
Well, you got caught off. I had to play engineer. I had to play engineer. I had to hang up on you, reconnect, and troubleshoot in a matter of 3 minutes. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I feel like I accomplished something.
This is called Machiavellian.
You did great. I can talk to you guys at least. Yep. Hey, couple things. Did you see what Nebraska played coming out on Saturday and all the comments? It was ex-glory. Oh, my God. For the Nebraska blackout, what they came out to. So did you guys see that?
They played back in black, which is, since 1994. Since 1994, they've played serious by the Alan Parsons Project as their tunnel walk. That's been, and they stole that from the Bulls. It wasn't original, but that's what they did. They've done since 1994. All of a sudden, on the blackout in Lincoln, Nebraska, they play back in black. I wonder if even half that crowd knew that, well, that's what Iowa comes out to. And it's like, okay, you stole from the Bulls. Good. Now you're stealing from the Hawks.
Oh, it was so awesome. So anyway, that was funny. And so they shouldn't wear black, and neither should Tennessee because it didn't go well for them on Saturday night. Super cool concepts. Sold a lot of new merchandise for Saturday night. Didn't get any wins. So that was my one. And then a friend of mine, really good friend, he was a Golden Gloves champion here in Iowa, and he is big time boxer. And he tried to explain to me, he thought that the injury to Bremer, on the shot was a liver shot. Like he said, that's what happens when you get a massive shot to your liver. Because he told me, he goes, you need to stay down a while. And he tried to get up because he said, that's why like guys that get a massive liver shot when they're boxing, like they will stay down to like almost the absolute last second before they can get up to stay in the boxing match. And I thought, that made a lot of sense to me. So I just wanted to share that little
really
nugget
good.
with you. That's what he thought happened to Bremer. So that he was okay, but it's like the way you looked at it, he took that shot was to his liver, and that's something that happens, I guess. So
AJ,
anyway, so let's guys go. It was
AJ,
funny. Yep,
AJ, run this by him though, because he was unconscious for a minute. He got knocked out. When he hits the ground, his left arm goes stiff. And he kind of, I hate to say seizing, but he's kind of got that look of somebody that's been knocked out. And we've all kind of seen that where a guy gets knocked out and the muscles kind of seize up. So, and I'm not saying that can't happen with a liver shot. I think that's a really good, because I've seen that in a boxing match where a guy gets hit in the liver or a UFC fight, and it takes about a half second, or it takes a few seconds before the pain really sets in, and you're right, that's over. It's over. That's really good. That's a good insight, AJ. Thanks for sharing that with us, man.
Yep. So,
thanks, JJ.
You guys have a great day. Yep.
You too, brother. 515-517-2303. And I knew this was going to come, and I think it's worth, because Bill is an everyday listener. So why is it all right to lose 4 straight and say the program is in a good place? Hawks lose 4 straight, and you'll be calling for heads. Ross will say we should hold the program to a higher level.
Hold on. Who said that Iowa State's in a good place?
I did. I said the program. I said Iowa State. The program in general, I believe, is in a good place. And Bill, let me try to explain. And I know what you're saying. And sometimes I could be a bit hypocritical on here because we do react with emotion a lot. But I would say you look at some of these games that Iowa State has lost, BYU being an example. They had over 500 yards of total offense. Statistically, they were a fun football team to watch. When we were really critical of Iowa before 2015 and really under the Brian Ferentz era, it was like the program wasn't moving in any direction. There was no identity. It was boring to watch. I don't think Iowa State's boring to watch, even when Rocco's not at his best right now. But I still watch that offense, and I see the possibilities there. You lose guys like Nolan Higgins, you're losing 2 NFL receivers. And I think Hanson's a good running back. Abu Sama's a good running back. There is an identity there to where, hey, they had a chance to win against Arizona State. They definitely had a chance to win against BYU. They were in those games competing for a chance to win. Iowa, in a lot of those cases, the defense and the special teams kept them in, but their offense was so inept under Brian Ferentz that you're like, what are we watching here? There's a difference in saying that Iowa State's in a good place to where when Iowa was not performing well, to go, man, when you're only racking up 200 yards of total offense and that's the best you can do, there's no progress there.
You're right about that, and I guess I don't want to argue that they're in a good place after 4 straight losses, but I think the other we've also tried to look at it. 2 things I want to say here, so give me a second.
Okay.
We're also looking at the bigger picture of where they are in their conference, where that puts them on a national stage, and the Big 12 is much more manageable than a lot of other conferences. Take that the way that you will. If you're saying it's a crappy conference, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's not a real clear high end in the Big 12 on a perennial basis. So you can turn things around. You can compete at that level. Hell, they were in that. They were up there last year, and now they've had these 4 straight losses, and they were there a month and a half ago, and now these 4 straight losses have crushed that hope. The other thing I want to say to Bill is I love Iowa, and I am one of these assholes that's way more critical about the things I love than the things I don't. My DMPS comments lately, what I would say would fall into this same thing. I'm going to be more critical of things that I have a high expectation for, that I personally have a hope for being great, and when they fall short of that, that's when I'm going to get really critical. I'm not an Iowa State lover. I'm an ancillary Iowa State fan. I want them to do well because it makes our show more fun. It makes we get better interactions from Iowa State fans. My friends that are Iowa State fans are happier. So I have a hard time, Bill, being as critical, and that's a very fair comment, because I would. If Iowa lost 4 straight, I'd be calling for heads to roll. I wouldn't care who they lost to. You lose 4 straight, yeah, get the hell out of here. What are you doing? So that's a very fair comment to say, hey, I'm noticing you guys, you don't hold them to the same standard you hold Iowa to. Yeah, because I wear this one on my heart, man.
And Bill says, hey, great explanation by both of you, and we appreciate
thank
that.
You, sir.
And I guess my feeling, and maybe I didn't explain my program is a good spot very well, and meaning that I don't think long term that Iowa State, if Matt Campbell stays at Iowa State, is going to be I believe Iowa State is going to be competitive. I don't think this is the sign of a downfall of the program. I think they will continue to be competitive. Now, to be perfectly honest, Bill, Iowa plays Oregon this weekend, and we're really excited about Iowa right now being 6-2. But the truth is, they haven't beat a ranked team since 2021. All right, for Iowa to change, and Iowa wasn't ranked in the AP poll this week. They're ranked 23rd in the coaches poll. The real poll finally, we can finally get rid of the AP and the coaches poll after tomorrow, because the college football playoff poll comes out. We're going to find out what people actually think of Iowa, the people that matter here, and that is the people that set the college football playoff poll. We're going to find out where Iowa falls in that mix. But the truth is, if we want to really start believing in Iowa, you got to win games that matter. Sure, you've had nine win seasons. That's great, but you didn't beat a ranked team during that 9-win season. If you want to compete for national titles, if you want to be in the mix, you've got to beat teams that are ranked. You had a chance to get Indiana. Yeah, and we're going to learn on Saturday where this team falls. And I hope they beat Oregon. I want them to beat Oregon. But if they lose, you're going to go, okay, great, you can beat up on teams that are about your level. where are you on a national level? And Oregon's ranked number 6 this week, and we're going to find out. So, I mean, I hold Iowa to a higher standard here, too, in saying, hey, that's great that you've won 6 games. Go beat somebody. Yeah. Go beat somebody. And I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing to add to that.
So I got to bring this up because Ross this weekend was a kid in a candy store. We took him to an amusement park, and he didn't know he was going to an amusement park.
What are we talking about here?
We showed up at Willis Automotive on Saturday morning.
Dude.
He's like, "What are you talking about? You spent Saturday morning with me."
I didn't know where you were going with this because I had a fun weekend. I had a lot of fun this weekend, dude. I had several experiences this weekend that were unique and interesting. Our Saturday morning, you nailed it, dude. You could feel my excitement was palpable as we went on a 25-yard track. I mean, it isn't long. It doesn't take long to go through the track at Willis Automotive. They have this little off-roading thing. We've talked about it before because Travis got to do it when he bought the Defender. I've been out to Willis 50 times in my life. I'd never seen this little patch that they built. The thing was actually built a long time ago when they had Hummer. It was built to demonstrate the Hummer and its capabilities. Well, when Land Rover came in, Land Rover took that thing and said, we can spruce this up even more and make this even more impressive. So, yeah, we got a chance to climb in a Defender on Saturday morning, and Bobby took us out on the track. They're producing a video, and everybody's going to get to see exactly what I'm about to describe. But you get on this little gravel path, and all of a sudden you turn, and I used to do a lot of off-roading in my Jeep Wrangler. One time in my life, I found a hill that felt like it was straight up. And my buddy Josh Alton jumped in with me, and we went up that hill. And I remember when we got to the bottom of it, he said, "Hey, we're not going to flip, are we?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We're going to find out."
I don't know.
And you know, looking back on it, that was probably about a 45-degree angle on that hill. What they have over there is way steeper than 45 degrees. And it was incredible.
And then he stops on the hill, keeps it in drive, takes his foot off the brake, and it just stays there. Just stays there.
Even going down the hill. Because we went through it once. And I'm not kidding, guys. You go down this little pit, and then when you go up, you see nothing but sky in front of you. And Chris, their videographer, did a great job. He set up a camera that was shooting both ways, so you get to see what we saw out of the windshield. Sky, blue sky, well, gray sky on Saturday, but it was straight up in the air. And then when you come back down, you're going down. And he did the same thing. Bobby takes his foot completely off the gas and completely off the brake, and the thing just very slowly creeps down the hill, very safely, back up. My favorite part, so we go through the little track. I'm blown away. Bobby whips this thing around and goes through the track the other way. And so now we go down this really steep hill into the ravine and back out, and we're climbing out of it. And Travis goes, "Hey, Bobby, you ever done this thing in reverse?" And my favorite line ever. Only one way to find out. He threw it in reverse, and we
backed up the hill.
We backed up the
and we're
hill.
Like, and we're you and I are kind of both looking at each other. I'm like, I really didn't mean it. I didn't think he would take me up on the challenge, but he did.
And so then I called Carl Said, who's one of my best friends, and is on the team out there at Willis. I called him. I'm like, "Dude, we just got to do the thing, Bobby." And he's like, "Who took you on it?" I said, "Bobby." He's like, "Oh, yeah, Bobby loved that, didn't he?" I said, "Dude, we even did it in reverse. It's amazing." And he says, "Hey, this happened." He goes, "I don't think Bobby was here when this happened, but we had some idiot try to take their car on that thing in the middle of the night one time. And it got high-centered. It had to be drug off the hill."
Folks, there's only a certain number of cars in the world that make and models that can do this. And if you think of and we're not encouraging this because you'll do damage to your car if you try to. Yeah, don't do it.
This is the type of thing, guys. A lot of people are talking about Mick in the comments because Mick does this stuff, and Mick had a great comment here. Imagine doing that at 10,000 feet.
No. I have the Defender, and I promise you, I will not be using the Defender like it's probably supposed to be used.
But it's nice to know that your car is capable of doing it. Like you, not that you couldn't get that thing in trouble, but it is nice to know that your car has those sorts of capabilities, and that's why they have the track there, so that people can see, hey, you don't have to be worried about everyday driving. You don't got to be worried about snow or getting in sand or things like that. This thing's a machine. And it was incredible. I loved it. So I can't wait for that video to get produced because, man, we had a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun doing that.
A lot of fun. And I think Ross even got out there going, I think I need a Defender.
I did. I was walking out there like, okay, how do I do this?
But just remember, whether you need a Defender, whether you need a Nissan, whether you need an Infiniti, a Cadillac, a Lexus, or any pre-owned car, Willis Automotive is the place to go. All right?
This might be my favorite comment we've ever had. No. Sorry, not that one. It's not that one. Hold on. I'm hitting all sorts of buttons now. This is it. Travis getting a Jeep or you got a Defender. Is like him getting shoes with laces. You're not going to use it.
I'm not. But my wife can drive around in snow nice. If she hits some high water, I can just raise I can hit the hydraulics and just raise it up. It can go through 3 feet of water, which is nice. So, yeah, that was our Saturday morning. We had a blast. And thank you to Bobby at Willis Automotive. And, again, when you are looking for a car, new or pre-owned, make sure to go to Willis Automotive. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. Maury Hanks is going to be joining us at 7:30. He's from Global Sports Management. They are producing the Iowa Bucknell game. College basketball starts today. Drake is in action at the Pentagon in Sioux Falls. They're taking on Northern Arizona. Iowa State is in action against FDU. That's Fairleigh Dickinson University, a 35.5-point favorite. That's a yawner. Should be a yawner. Even without Taman Lipsey, it should be a yawner. But we'll talk ticket sales and how to go see the Hawks play Bucknell at the Casey Center. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig, plantation rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Trick or treat, candy to eat, get your car some brand new feet. Until the end of October, you can buy 3 tires and get 1 for $1. And we're also still doing our $25 off battery install. Scary good deals. All those treats, and you don't even need to show up with a joke. Give us a call or head online to willisinfinity.com.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Monday to you. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. A lot of people on the app right now. If you're watching on YouTube, give this channel a subscription. We like the subscribers. Give the video a like. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. And, recommend the Rush Radio Show to your friends and family and coworkers. And, of course, you can follow us on our social media channels, X, Facebook, and Instagram. We like the social media channels. And, we don't do enough on the social media channels. It's hard. Ross has a full-time job. I get out of here in the mornings. I got a full-time job. It's hard to manage those socials and get enough content out there. So Ross and I have we've scrounged up some pennies, and literal pennies. And we're like, how are we going to make this work? And we're going to try to make it work. But we need a teammate. We need somebody. So the first employee on the Rush Radio Show payroll is Justin Miller. Justin Miller, the Rush Radio Show social media manager. I guess that's what we're going to call you.
I'll take it.
You'll take it?
Working our way up. Working our way up the corporate ladder here is Justin. Welcome, buddy.
Feels
How
good.
are you? You look good.
Thank you. No, it feels so good to be back with you guys. I've been annoying you enough.
Oh my God, have you been annoying us?
Dude, listen, Justin, this is
worked.
the thing. It did. And Travis nailed it. Dude, we got to get you in sales. We really do. Travis, and I said that to Justin. I said, dude, you know what your calling is. It took me a long time to realize, oh, wait, yeah, sales, that's what I do. That's what I am. I'm a guy that talks to people and tells them, helps them out. Justin, yeah. Hey, I thought maybe you were coming on just to console about the Seahawks.
I mean, I'm still repping my Seahawks gear.
Right,
we can talk about the Seahawks and have Sam Darnold's an MVP, JSN's an MVP, or Drake. Today, as college basketball is back.
Like your Drake hat? Yeah.
I'm all ready to go.
Yeah.
So what exactly are you going to be doing for us? What can people see out of the Rush Radio Show socials? And by the way, what we're paying you, which is a pittance, also includes when you got to fill in for Ross or myself. So just to let you know,
I felt like that was in the contract. I felt like it was there. But I'm going to go full Forrest Gump here. Whatever you tell me, drill sergeant.
Listen, you have full reign. Just don't make us look stupid and keep us.
Won't. I mean, dude, we do a good enough job of making ourselves look stupid.
That's true. Yeah. That's very, very true.
We can talk Drake for a minute too, man, because I know you have Coach Woodley on with you every week on Media Row. Dude, that's been fun. That's really been fun to see as a Woodley fan and a Drake fan, and in that order. This has been really fun to see.
No, and such a cool story too, because they lost going into this season 25 seniors, juniors, fifth-year seniors, veterans. They just lost so many players, and he brings in a brand new roster, an entire new staff, and the staff's young too. Defensive coordinator is a first-year defensive coordinator, and Adam Cox. Hawkeye fans know him. And they have a first-year offensive coordinator with Kyle Kemp. Cyclone fans know him. And they've just continued to improve. And it's really cool. It's a cool story all around with the team performing as well as it has, undefeated in the PFL. And then just the staff and the players, all key positions are young on this team.
But should we really be surprised? I mean, I don't think we should be that. I mean, should we really be that surprised? And you lay out a lot of stuff there, and we've had Joe on several times during the season. The guy just freaking wins, and I'm telling you, I don't think it's going to be a Power 4 job. But if I'm one of these schools in the Athletic or the American or Conference USA, and you want to make a big splash, you go hire Joe Woodley, and just because the guy wins, and you don't get sooner or later you just have to go, okay, sure, he's at NAI, okay, didn't lose a regular season game, goes to Drake and has some turnaround with the roster, and he still wins. And you go, okay, there might be something there. So like James Madison saw with Curt Cignetti when he was at Elon, right? You just go, some guys just have it. Let's not forget, Kalen DeBoer started at NAIA Sioux Falls. Kalen DeBoer's at Alabama now. That's where I wish a lot of these athletic directors would get off their high horses and stop appeasing fan bases with big names, because fan bases want the big names. If we're a big school, we got to have the big name. Big name doesn't mean right fit. It just doesn't mean right fit. We saw it at LSU specifically. And Hugh Freeze probably at Auburn was another one where it just wasn't the right fit. He was asking for a little more patience, but I'm not trying to get Joe Woodley out of Des Moines, but you do want to see somebody get maybe that life-changing payday that some of these guys are getting, right? I mean,
and someone who deserves it too. Like he's played or coached so well in his time at Grandview and clearly at his time at Drake too. And yeah, you just point out Curt Cignetti. I don't think it matters now where you come from. It just matters if you can perform.
I think Tyler brings it up, and I've been thinking about this because we had Joe on after he played South Dakota in South Dakota State, right? And I said, did they invite you back? And he kind of joked that no, they didn't want to, because Drake kept those games a lot closer than they've been in the past. And I think it was like, no, you're not invited back. And Tyler says, so if he wins an FCS playoff game, if they make the playoffs and they win a playoff game, he gone. Because that will be
that'll raise the bar.
That will raise the bar. You're like a non-scholarships team just went in and pulled off an upset like that. I got to give Brian Harden, the athletic director at Drake, a hard time, Ross. On our promotion for the Black and Gold Rush on Saturday, I said, hey, we're going to be talking college football. And he wrote, hey, if you're going to be talking college football, you need to be talking, Drake. And I said, well, Brian, we had Joe on earlier in the week, and we did talk about Drake on Saturday, so we fulfilled our obligation. And we like talking with Joe. We like talking about Drake football. Yeah, absolutely.
Are we going to like talking about Drake basketball as much, Justin?
I think you're going to really enjoy talking to Coach Hendo if you haven't already.
We have. We've had him on
that
with us.
Dude's so fun.
Yeah, we've noticed
I love
that.
Coach Hendo already. because I loved Darren DeVries. Ben McCollum was great to me, but they were very like when you got them in front of a mic, they were we're on to Valpo, very on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Hendo has that energy that just illuminates everything in that media room. He's awesome. This team will be excited to watch, though.
Are they on TV today? I know it's like a 3:40 game I saw, or a 3 o'clock game, something like that.
It's on YouTube because it's the Field of 68. I mean, they have games going on, I think, right now, tipping off at 7 a.m.
There's like, I stopped counting. I went through the schedule. I stopped counting at 100. I think there's like 125, maybe 130 games being played today. And it starts this morning, goes all the way through. Of course, Iowa State plays tonight. So, well, hopefully we've given you enough stuff to put out some social media stuff today. I don't know if you've been watching or listening. I hope you have, because we're paying you to now.
Yeah. It's kind of my job now.
Kind of your job. Then we need you to run down to Big Sky, take some pictures of cinnamon rolls, run out to Willis, take some pictures of cars.
Run up to get on that track now.
Run up to Fiskus Jewelers, take a picture of some diamonds.
Have you ever been off-roading?
I've done it in like, what are those called? The little gator, like the golf cart, but with more horsepower.
UTV?
Those are fun. But I've never done it in a car because I've never had a good car. My Camry basically exploded on the highway. So
your Camry? I thought you had a Mercedes-Benz.
No, that's what I have now. But before that, I had this Camry, and I was driving back from the radio station. Power steering goes out. Smoke starts coming up from the hood. And I call my mom, and I'm like, hey, I'm no mechanic, but I don't think this is good. I'm going to pull off at this quick trip. Will you pick me up, please?
I don't know a lot about cars, but I know that smoke is bad.
And every light in the car flashing at me, I don't think is a good thing.
God, I was driving to Des Moines on Saturday, and there was a sign that said accident ahead. I actually got freaked out because it was a semi-truck that they were cleaning up the ashes. That thing burned to the ground, and I just felt sorry. I hope the driver got out, but then I'm just thinking, man, how scary is that that thing just basically combusted, just blew up. So
see, I like this as far as this is TJ. TJ says, hey Justin, I'm out west if you need an assistant. So here's what we could do. We could turn our Rush family into like assistants. Like, hey, when you're at Big Sky, snap a photo of a cinnamon roll, send it to Justin.
Yes.
Justin will get it out there on the socials for us.
Yeah, you're not getting a Rush Radio email address because those are really expensive. Only Ross and I have those. That's not quite in the budget yet. So maybe.
And I'd have to just deal with all of Trav's OnlyFans junk emails.
Exactly
I'd have to that would take up so much more time.
OnlyFans does not go through the Rush Radio account. It goes through a different account.
He doesn't say he doesn't have it. He just says it doesn't go through that email.
Because he tries not to lie to folk.
That's right.
Honest and genuine and vulnerable and all those things.
Justin, it's good to have you on board. I actually copied you on an email last night, so you could kind of see. Hopefully, you were impressed by those numbers I sent you. But all right,
better.
You have to grow. You are now in charge. You have. We expect at least 2,500 more followers on Facebook in the next month. I'm joking.
What's my buyout?
Your buyout is we stop paying you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, buddy. It's always good to hear from you.
Love you, Justin. Thanks so much, buddy.
Love you guys. Happy to be back.
Yeah, glad to have you back, man.
So Justin Miller,
beginning of more. I can tell you that.
Our social media manager and official fill-in host, because that's the other duties as assigned, right? 515-517-2303. Let's go back to the phones. That's where Derek in New Sharon is. Derek, how you doing, man? I don't know. 4 in a row?
What a crap show that is. But, hey, Justin, if you're still listening, your mom says you're doing a good job. Anyway. What?
Can't go wrong with a mom joke.
Hey, what a crap show that is. I was calling for Rocco's head to be benched in the second quarter. I'm sorry. You might have had it at one time at the beginning of the year. You look like you were great. Now, I don't know if something's wrong. I don't know whether the young man's hurt. But anyway, we cannot stop. John Heacock cannot stop one guy. I'm glad Jeff Sims got the helmet sticker college football final show. He deserved it. He only had like 1,200 yards.
I think it was like 411 to be exact.
It's crazy.
Well, he still got the sticker. Yeah, what a joke. I don't know. I hope I don't even want us to win another game. I'm serious.
Stop.
I've had it. No, you ain't going to beat TCU, and you sure the hell ain't going to beat Kansas with that running quarterback. It's going to come down to us and the old Bullets team to see who can go to the Bahamas Bowl against Toledo. We got to beat the Bullets team. We ain't going nowhere. Ugh, whatever. What? Anyway, you know what happens tonight, don't you, fellas?
Yeah, they win by like
My
40.
Cyclones. Well, I don't care what we win by. As long as we win. I don't care if it's 1 or it's 81. Finally, I can watch a team that's playing together like a team without all the stupid mistakes.
You'll care if they win by 1.
Yes, you will. Very much so.
Back to the Rocco thing, Derek. We did have a caller on Saturday. We did a black and gold rush after the Cyclone game because we were doing one anyway, so we just timed it up at the end of that game. And we did have a listener that called in and said, remember, benching Brock Purdy did help him. That taking him off the field at times when he was struggling seemed to help him get going in the right direction. We also had a lot of people, Derek, that pointed back, like when you say, what's wrong? We had a lot of people that pointed back to that hit against Cincinnati. Said, man, it seems like his confidence is a little shaken or something's a little bit different from that moment.
Yeah, something's happened because I don't know, but he couldn't miss a throw in the first 3 or 4 games. Now I'm not sure he can hit one. And maybe we weren't all that good anyway. We probably shouldn't beat Kansas State. And if Iowa's quarterback was playing like he is right now, we probably wouldn't have beat Iowa as bad as that is. Say, boy, my whole season would have been over right out the bat.
And that's what we said earlier, Derek, is maybe the Arkansas State game was the first sign that things might – I mean, Kansas State had that reputation. Iowa obviously had the reputation. So you go, okay, those are going to be hard-fought wins anyway. And the Arkansas State game, even though it was a victory, might have been that first sign that things weren't as rosy as we thought. And the truth is, confidence is a weird thing. When good things are happening, they roll in the right way. Rocco Becht had a lot of things go right for him over the first
5 games of the season.
5 games, or even in previous years. Now you get a little bit of doubt and confidence, and confidence is a weird thing. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate it, man.
See you, bud. Go get him.
See ya.
Another injury that happened over the weekend, and I'm anxious to see how this turns out because Dylan Raiola, the quarterback for Nebraska, is out the rest of the season. He broke his leg, Ross, while getting sacked. And the truth is, he's been sacked 27 times this year. 27 times. So he got hit. A lot of people thought it was an ankle injury. He ended up breaking his fibula. That should be about a 6 to 8 week recovery. But Dylan Raiola is out for the rest of the season. Now, I'm sure a lot of Iowa fans, probably UCLA fans, Penn State fans right now who Nebraska has left going, yeah. I think it changes the dynamic of the Nebraska offense. And hear me out. TJ Lateef is going to be the starting quarterback. He has a different dynamic, meaning he can run. Dylan Raiola is mobile, but not a threat mobility-wise. This changes to where you have a true mobile quarterback. Wouldn't it be weird if Nebraska comes in and plays better with TJ Lateef offensively, and then you have, is Dylan Raiola going to stick around?
Then you have, what the hell is Matt Rule doing playing the quarterback that's not as good as the back? That's not as good as the backup. Why did we have all? Because, dude, this is.
Do you want the answer? Do you want the answer?
Go ahead.
The answer is much like we see in the NBA or some other thing. Sometimes when you're paying a guy a lot of freaking money, you're kind of obligated to put him in there. I really do believe that.
Dude, it is grabbing on to the Nebraska quarterback situation when you talk to somebody from Nebraska like you or a Nebraska fan. It's like grabbing water. Because just weeks ago, Dylan Raiola's Patrick Mahomes. And now it's, oh, dude, wait till you see the backup's way better.
I didn't say he's way better. I said it's a different dynamic.
Wait till you see the offense with the new guy.
It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a different dynamic.
I understand.
Much like
I have said with every Nebraska quarterback since Taylor Martinez, show me. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about how great this guy is going to be. Show me, and we get a chance to see it. But I don't think Nebraska is nearly as good. I watched them against Minnesota. I watched them lose this weekend. I don't think they're that good of a football team.
Well, they can't stop the run to save their life.
Okay, so now their starting quarterback, who, by the way, a couple months ago was going to win the Heisman. He's the greatest college quarterback you've ever seen. He's the next Patrick Mahomes. Now all of a sudden, now the backup's coming in. Watch out! Watch out!
And to be fair,
remember when they had the McCaffrey kid? Remember when they had Chuba Purdy?
And your criticism is well warranted. I'm not disputing that. I would say that it's not as much fans. Sure, fans buy into the hype, but you're talking about every national media outlet called him Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's the danger of recruiting.
Trav, you're in Omaha, so you get a different algorithm than I do in Des Moines, Iowa. And it wasn't every national outlet calling him. He was being mocked for looking like Patrick Mahomes.
But Patrick Mahomes is his personal coach. I mean, there was so a lot of people made that correlation. I understand what you're saying. I'm not even pushing back on you.
Yeah.
But I think there were a lot of national media outlets that prop people up. And listen, he's thrown for over 2,000 yards. He's been okay. But he hasn't been protected. When you're sacked 27 times, it's hard to do anything you want.
It's a football team. It's a football team.
This is the danger of NIL. When you start throwing money just one direction, you need to fill in the rest of the holes.
A football player. You got to have a football team. And is it possible that this quarterback comes out and because he's mobile and that changes the offense a little bit, that they do now cause some problems for these teams? That's very, very possible. And is it possible that this group that is Division I athletes, scholarship Division I athletes that were recruited by really good coaches, is it possible that they start to grab hold and play better football? It absolutely is. Show me. Show me. Because what I've seen so far, I mean, we just had a conversation about how Matt Campbell shouldn't be considered for some of these great jobs because he's lost 4 straight. Was Matt Rule? Did he just swindle Nebraska with this contract extension, or was he really being considered for Penn State? Because you could look at it the same way and go, well, wait a minute. Why would Penn State be excited about bringing in a guy that's lost some of these games this way, that just got his ass kicked by Minnesota?
Can't you say that about any coach that just signed an extension? Latif at SMU, Cignetti. I mean, it happens so fast. What happens is these universities panic.
With Curt Cignetti, you can't say that because Curt Cignetti has 1 and 1 and 1 and 1.
But we don't know if he was actually offered a job. You take preemptive.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying here.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, but you're right. I think the thing was with Matt Rule, like, oh, he's a Penn State grad. He's good friends with the AD. That's a natural thing. So they go ahead and make the offer. Did he swindle him, or did Troy Dannon react too quickly? In meaning, oh, you're going to throw this in front of my face? Okay, I'll sign it. Sure. I haven't been offered a job, but if you're offering it to me, I'll sign it. But I don't like to see anybody go out for the season. That's why but when you're sacked 27 times,
that's a crazy number.
That is a crazy number. Fox Big Noon Kickoff coming to Iowa City this weekend. Does that have the same luster as game day? I think it does, but it's game day is still a popular show. But Fox Big Noon Kickoff coming to Iowa City.
Yeah, to me, they're indiscernible from each other, Travis. I think that Fox has done a great job of invading that space. I think it has the same hype, the same luster, doesn't it? Am I crazy? Hey, baby.
I think it does. And what you mean is, I think College Game Day still gets better ratings, but Fox Big Noon Kickoff has been a disruptor. Yeah. And anytime you can disrupt an industry and do that, I mean, Urban Meyer. Say what you want about Urban Meyer as a coach. I get why Urban Meyer's really good in this role. I think he's very, very good. I think Rob Stone does a good job. So Portnoy hasn't added. When you try to compare Portnoy to Pat McAfee, I think. Listen, I get people don't like Pat McAfee. I like Pat McAfee just because he just does some wild stuff, and he gets the entertainment factor of it. McAfee has helped game day out tremendously. Portnoy hasn't had the same effect that McAfee did for Fox Big Noon Kickoff.
You're nailing it. Like they are two very different, similar personalities, but very different. And I think that McAfee is, McAfee is an espresso shot. He is instant energy right away. Portnoy is kind of the cup of coffee. Like it does.
And black coffee, meaning I don't know if I like black coffee.
A little bit bitter.
Yeah.
a little bit bitter. And Portnoy, by the way, fake Bob Vanderplatz has pointed this out. He did post the other day that he's actually not going to be a part of the broadcast. They're headed to some other place. I don't remember where it was, but there's some other game that's happening that he's going to be at. So he won't be a part of the Big Noon Kickoff. We had a funny back and forth, Travis, on the comments it's just that dichotomy that's so funny, because as soon as you talked about it and which show is better, Johnny writes in and says game day is much better, and literally 3 comments later you get Big Noon Kickoff is the better show. So that shows you that, again, just that is the same. Those are the same comments minutes from each other, and I think that's exactly what you were talking about. Like that gap that used to exist, it's not quite there anymore. Not like it used to be.
515-517-2303 is the number to call. We mentioned that college basketball is kicking off today. Matter of fact, Justin's right. It might have started already. Can you imagine playing a game at like 7 o'clock in the morning? That would blow.
Can you imagine trying to promote a game that went that tipped off at 7 a.m.? Maybe we should talk to Mory about that.
Mory Hanks.
The earliest tip-off he's ever had to promote.
We do that. So Mory's listening right now. So just think about your earliest tip-off you've ever had, Mory. And Mory Hanks joins us next on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
You've got enough on your plate, so when it's time to reset, grab a Fresca. Bold citrus, 0 sugar, 0 caffeine. Just clean, crisp refreshment that never goes out of style, whether it's post-work, post-gym, or just a break from the noise. Fresca's got your back. Pick up a Fresca at your local retailer today.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
It's October at Willis Nissan, and the savings this month are scary good. Lease the stylish Nissan Sentra or the versatile Nissan Kicks for payments so low, we call them fun size. And that's not the only trick up our sleeves this month. Right now, you can get 0% APR on Murano and Pathfinder, or take advantage of customer cash. All those treats, and we won't even make you tell us a joke. Visit us online at willisnissan.com or stop into our showroom today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you, taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the RushRadio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Now's the perfect time to find the ring. We've just brought in a fresh wave of gorgeous engagement rings. So whether you're into sleek and modern or something a little more romantic, we've got you covered. And if nothing feels quite right, let's custom design it together. You won't find a more passionate or skilled team to help you create a ring that's as unique as your love story. Come see us in Ankeny and let's make the magic happen. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels. There's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
Hi, I'm Bradley Ollinger here at Willis Nissan. Now until October, we are offering buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1. Take advantage of this deal right now before winter. Go online today at willisnissan.com to schedule your tire placement today, and we'll see you on the service drive.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Don't forget, this is your last chance to win tickets to an Iowa football game from the Iowa Lottery. Enter non-winning Iowa Blackout scratch tickets into your VIP club account via the Second Chance promotion before 10 a.m. on November 5th for a chance to win tickets to the game against Michigan State on November 22nd. You can win 4 stadium seats, a parking pass, Hawkeye merchandise, and $250 in spending money. See iowalottery.com for all the details to get entered. We mentioned the college basketball starts today. That's right. College basketball tips off. So we got a brand new season. And, of course, coming up in December, you've got Iowa going to be playing in Des Moines at the Casey Center against Bucknell. And when this game was announced, we had Mory Hanks on, and we're bringing Mory back on the first day of college basketball. Do you have like 4 televisions set up? Are you watching hoops right now?
No, I'm not. I can't lie to you. I just texted some friends of mine that I'm on a thread with that have real jobs that go to work, 8 to 5 or something like that. I said, boys, I don't know how you do this for a living. So
here's how they do it, Mory. They go to the office, they shut the door, and they turn the TV on.
Exactly. Well, 2 or 3 of my friends definitely do that. I mean, they're giving me updates. I'm like, I thought you guys were supposed to be working. But no, it is the start of college basketball season. I think it's the earliest day ever. When I coached, I've been out of coaching since 1991. When I got out of coaching, the season started the Friday after Thanksgiving. Think of that. I mean, that's 3
wow.
Three more people forget that. I mean, that's a long time ago, but it used to be the season started the Friday after Thanksgiving. You'd be playing exhibition games. I used to have an exhibition team. I'd come and play Iowa State all the time when Coach Stacy was there, and then a year or 2 with Wayne Morgan. But we'd always play exhibition games from like November 1st to November 15th, let's say. And now they're starting the season this early. And I heard you mention earlier the game starting. Winthrop is playing Queens in an arena, small arena in Rock Hill. My good friend Jeff Goodman's doing that. He's been trying to do that, and they're having games tied to that in Sioux Falls today at the Pentagon. What he's trying to do is what they used to do a long time ago, the 24 hours of basketball on ESPN, and they would start in Hawaii. Yeah. And they do that at midnight Hawaii time the day before. And he's trying to do that, and he's I think he's got 6 games today. It sounds like too much work for me, but he's trying to get it done.
What was that thing that's in my head right now, Moore? You just struck an old memory here, and it's not very long ago. I remember.
Yeah, they had the opening day. They had a 24-hour thing of basketball. It wasn't the Bracket Buster was during the middle of the season. But they had a thing where they'd start 24 hours of basketball, and they would start in Hawaii, and then they would play, and then they would end up on the West Coast at night.
I'm remembering
they would get teams like you were talking earlier. They would get like East Coast teams, smaller East Division I teams to play at 6 in the morning to put them on TV. That would be the only chance besides their conference tournament they could get on national TV. And then ESPN's got so much more programming now, they don't do that any longer.
The thing I'm remembering was like almost like a practice, like Midnight Madness.
Oh yeah, Midnight Madness used to start October 15th. That's what I said the other day. I'm talking to coaches. Some coach told me that it was their 70th practice because they could practice in the summer. And he usually, and when you add up all the hours and whatnot, that was basically their 70th practice by the time it would be their first practice. Yeah, it used to be October 15th. And a lot of coaches used to do it to get attention. Lefty Drizel and stuff like that was one of the first guys. He would practice at midnight. And it would just be like an open scrimmage.
Yeah.
But some coaches were crazy enough to really think you were going to get a good practice going at midnight.
But man, they'd have the gyms full.
Yeah.
It would be raucous. I remember that. How long ago was that?
And now the rules are you can start 40 couple days before your first game. So if you play today, I'm pretty close to it, 42, 43 days. But if you open on Wednesday, you can't start till 2 days, after that. So
NCAA rules.
The NCAA, as we know, has a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So
good way to put it.
You are promoting, because I don't know if you heard us ask this question during the break, but you are promoting the Emerald Coast Classic, which Drake is going to be on later on this season. What's the earliest tip-off you've ever promoted?
The earliest tip-off I've ever done, I heard you say that before. The Emerald Coast Classic has, we have 8 teams. I did tournaments in Las Vegas, 11 a.m. local time. So we usually would do that 11, 1, 5, and 7:30. Or 11, 1, 6, and 8:30 for TV, depending on what time zone the tournament's on.
11 a.m. is only really early in Vegas.
Yeah, 11. But again, if most of the teams are coming from out east, it's 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock if you're an Iowa team.
Yeah.
So when you had those 8 a.m. games, did people go, Mory, what'd we do? What'd we do to piss you off? Because 8 a.m.'s early. I mean, that's early.
No, I know, but it would be at 11 o'clock in Vegas. But I'm saying,
that's true.
So, but in the West Coast teams, like I said, and again, I would just say, guys, I just flip either TV dictated it, or I've been doing this a long time, trying not to piss people off. And everybody says, "Oh, I'm your friend." Pretty much everybody in the tournament's a friend of mine. I just flip a coin. That way, it's 50. You got a 50-50 chance.
You've got the Iowa Bucknell game coming up at the Casey Center in December. The push has been there, but we're going to start pushing harder. You're going to hear a lot more about it on this show. How are ticket sales going? And I think the more Iowa wins, if they do win, and you got a lot of former Drake players coming back, stuff like that. There's people are going to come to watch Iowa if they're a good basketball team.
Yes, I hope so. And ticket sales are going okay right now. Again, I thank you very much for having me on the show today. We're going to announce that either Tuesday or Wednesday, we're going to release a good number of floor tickets become available. A good number of tickets between the baskets will become available. And, I do agree with you. Football season's going on. It's been going on so far. Basketball season, people really have kind of put it in the back burner. But really looking forward. It's December 20th. The game time is at 5 o'clock. I think it's a great time for Iowa fans, because a lot of Iowa fans, from what I've learned over the years, if they live in Des Moines or if they live in Sioux City or whatnot, they don't want to drive to Iowa City and then come back in the middle of the night. If we start the game at 5 o'clock, game gets over 7:15, they can get home before midnight. And that's one reason, I tried to, get the game to either be at 5 or 6 o'clock local time. So people that don't usually get a chance to drive over to Iowa City can come to the Casey Center and, watch a great basketball game and get home at a reasonable hour.
Working with the folks at Casey Center, you work with folks all over the world in different arenas. What is that experience like working with the folks here in Des Moines in the Casey Center?
Chris Conley is as good as I've ever worked with. And you're right. I've done games at Rupp Arena. I've done games at Thomas and Mack. I've done games all over the country. I do a tournament, the Cayman Islands, that I was participating before. Chris is as good as there is. A lot of people don't get right back to you. He gets right back to you. If he tells you something's going to happen, it's going to happen. You don't have to worry about it. So that makes my job as a promoter a lot easier. He's got a great staff over there, Jake at the ticket office and whatnot. So again, it makes my job a lot easier that you're not, hey, if they told you don't and you show up, well, you told us this was going to happen. It happens. So it's one less worry for me.
A lot of people may be going, it's Bucknell. But if you really dig in the numbers of Bucknell, and I don't know how they're going to be this year, but you're talking about a team that was, co-champions in the Colonial Athletic Conference last year. They were a good team last year. So we have the potential to watch a really a potentially good basketball game between Bucknell
You're
and Iowa.
exactly right. They tied for first place in their league, and they lost in their conference tournament. Or they, if they win that last game, they go to the NCAA tournament. They were 13-5 in their league. They've got a coach that's been there a long time. They've actually got a young man from Hawkeyes, Iowa, 6'9", kid that's played there for a few years. So he's coming back to Des Moines to play in front of his friends and family. And so I expect it to be a good game. And Bucknell's very excited. I've talked to the coach a couple times here in the last month or so. They're very excited about coming into Des Moines to the Casey Center and playing.
Do you look for or go ahead, Russ?
No, Travis. I wanted to go backwards, so you keep going here. And then
do you look for when you do these neutral site games? Do you look like Iowa has a number of players that played at Drake last year? Bucknell has a kid from Hawkeyes. Do you look for that local connection to make the game make a little sense?
Sometimes I do, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't on this one. The contract was signed, and Coach McCaffrey was there, and then I worked with the new staff, to find the opponent. But
okay.
But like I said, that's one thing about contracts. Sometimes coaches are happy with them. Some coaches, they come in and they go, "Well, I wouldn't have played that game." Well, basketball existed, and Coach McCollum was great to work with, and I think with him bringing not only himself, who's had great success at Drake, his former players. I think there'll be a lot of excitement when they come into the Casey Center.
I want to go backwards because you mentioned a couple of Iowa State coaches that have pretty dynamic personalities, pretty opposite personalities, and Wayne Morgan and Coach Eustace. Who are your favorite coaches to work with in your time doing this?
Well, Larry was one of my best friends. I mean, I don't speak to him a lot now, but when he was coaching, he was one of my best friends in the world. And he's a unique individual, not a good coach, a great coach. And I think the people in Iowa know that. And again, I've been doing this a long time. I've got dear friends that some of my dear friends I don't do business with, just because they're at a different level. Like I've known Bill Self since 1988, 89. We almost died in an ice storm here in Knoxville when he was coaching at Oklahoma State and I was coaching at San Diego State. We shared a rental car. We drove to Hiawassee Junior College, and we didn't think we'd make it back to the hotel. And I've taken Bill on a couple foreign tours, but I know the events that I'm doing, Kansas is too big for him.
Yeah.
But Mick Cronin's a dear friend of mine. He's really good to work with. Dana Altman, one of the best coaches in the country. Nobody really talks about. You guys in your area know how good he is. He's great to work with. A lot of people are good to work with if they tell you what they want and then they stick to it. Like I was telling you about Chris Connolly, the guys I don't like to work with, either as coaches or administrators, or they'll tell you they want one thing and then you give it to them. Well, no, I wanted this. If you tell me what you want and I deliver it, and that's all I can look at people. If I tell you, hey, I want this, and you deliver it, I don't want you to go back and say you want something else. So there have been a lot of great coaches to work with over the years, and I actually do really miss my exhibition team because I've been out of coaching, as I told you earlier, since 1991. That used to scratch my itch to coach, and we had great teams. We had the year that Larry's team went to the Elite Eight was probably the best team in the country. We played 5 teams in the Big 12. The only team we lost to was Larry's team with Pfizer and Jamal Tinsley. We beat Texas A&M. We beat Oklahoma. We beat Kansas State, and I think one other. And we had really, really good teams. And that's why coaches like playing us.
Now, if you're thinking, Hy-Vee Tix is the place to go to get tickets for this, and you may want to wait a day or two for those floor tickets to become available. What are the ticket pricing ranges?
They start. I believe it starts at $20. Floor seats are $75. So again, I don't know what floor seats are at Iowa State and Drake and at Iowa, but to see a major college basketball game, to sit on the floor is a pretty exciting thing. And again, we're going to open up, as we talked about earlier, some floor seats and a lot of seats between the baskets. And so we're hoping. And again, you are right. HighVTix.com and December 20th at 5:00.
obviously a sellout would be great. What's your hopes for this? 10, 12, 13,000?
Yeah, if we can get around 10,000, if we can get around 10,000 people, it'd be, like I said, new coaching staff, coming in, people, I know they've had great success at Drake, so I think the people will be excited to come out and see Coach Ben and his former great players come back. And there's a bunch of Iowa. Iowa's got a great fan base. That's why I've done business with them before. Because they will come out and support their teams. And so I'm hoping December 20th they come out at 5:00 and watch the Hawkeyes play.
Excellent stuff. Maury, it's always good to catch up with you. And let's have you on one more time before the event. And I know we're going to be promoting it here on the Rush Radio Show. But as we get closer, we can have you back on and have the conversation again.
No, I greatly appreciate that. We're going to send some tickets your way that you can give some tickets away to your listeners.
Oh, thank you, Mory.
Just make sure John Higgins has to pay for his tickets.
Listen, I was with John Friday night. So John and I handed out Halloween candy together. And
was he dressed? Was he dressed as a referee? An imposter?
No, he had a gin and tonic in his hand, and we were just sitting in lawn chairs handing out just handfuls of candy. But he's a busy guy, and of course, Terry Oglesby is now taking over the Big Ten, so I think that could be a good thing with those consortiums working together. Tragic passing away of Terry Weimer a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
But Terry Oglesby is going to take over the Big Ten. But John's busy scheduling. I think he likes this better. I think he's more stressed. I think it was easier to be a referee than to try to schedule everybody.
Well, not only that, instead of listening to two coaches each night, he's got to listen to a bunch of coaches. I know one person that's not as happy. That's his wife, because he doesn't travel as much.
You might be right there. You might be right.
Again, gentlemen, thank you for having me on. And like I said, we'll send some tickets your way for you to give away to your listeners.
Thank you, Mory.
Thanks, Mory. Appreciate it. We'll catch up in December.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Maury Hanks joining us on the Rush Radio Show. So there you heard it. You're going to have a chance to win Iowa Bucknell tickets right here on the Rush Radio Show, and go see the Hawks play December 20th at the Casey Center.
Sorry about that. We're like halfway through the interview, and Audrey came in the room crying. She knocked her head against the door trying to get the dog back in the house.
Man.
Woke up with a sore throat, and now she's got a headache to boot. And then I said, do you just need to stay home today from school? And she said, no, I want to go to school still.
Well, that's good, right? I mean, anytime you have a kid that wants to go to school, you throw it out there. You throw it out there.
I gave her the out, and she's like,
gave her the out.
No, I'm going. So sorry about that.
I don't mean to go
dad for a second.
I don't mean to go backwards, but we talked a lot about Iowa State today. Iowa, of course, basketball kicking off today. We haven't even brought up the World Series yet. Game 7 of the World Series.
One of the
delivered.
Dude, when earlier when we had the 18-inning game, and you said, "Is this one of the best World Series games of all time?" I was like, "Oh, man, a great World Series game almost has to be." There's been so many great Game 7s. That game on Saturday night fits into that. You could make an argument, man, an extra inning game that ends with a home run, but it doesn't end with a home run because obviously
the home run put him up.
Exactly. The way just the way that game played out. Now, obviously, we talked about this several times. I think most of us were rooting for the Blue Jays to pull off that upset. Kind of sick of the Dodgers thing. They're that evil empire now, and I think a lot of us were pulling for Toronto to pull that off. They get that early lead. The place is rocking. There's even those dynamic baseball plays, man. Game of inches. And at that play at the plate, game of a quarter inch or whatever. I don't even know how they decided on that instant replay with that, because that was so close.
Well, and you can go back to Game 6 and the way that ended, too. Just a base-running faux pas and heads-up play by the Dodgers. You're right. I mean, I wanted the Blue Jays to win. I secretly kind of, as this went along, went, okay, I really want the Blue Jays to win. But at the end of the day, both teams delivered entertainment. They delivered just something fun to watch. And I think it got people interested in baseball again. I hope it did.
Dude, I'm glad you said this. So I'm with Sipker, I said, on Saturday night. I'll do my name dropping now since you were with Higgins. I was with Scott Sipker. So
Mory brought up Higgins.
Sipker and I were talking on Saturday night. We were together at this Halloween party, and we knew the game was on, so we're trying to kind of keep an eye on it at some way. And Sipker said this to me. He's like, man, Ross, I'd kind of given up on baseball. I grew up, just like me, grew up loving baseball. It was my absolute favorite sport. And I've kind of lost my way with baseball these last couple of years. And Scott told me this great story about going to Wrigley Field this summer with some family members. And he's like, I got there and I realized as I'm watching the game, all the things I used to hate about baseball, all the things that made me turn away from baseball, they fixed. The game is faster. The game is more fun. The game does move at a much quicker pace now. You do have all of this exciting stuff that's happening in a baseball game that compounds. And I wonder, man, if we haven't seen or aren't seeing a turnaround in this thing that we've talked about. I've been open and honest about it, man. I loved baseball. I was a seam head for most of my life. In these last couple of years, that passion has waned. I can't explain why. There's no specific thing that happened. It just has died off a little bit on me. Watching this World Series was so much fun, man. So much fun to be able to see how it does seem like baseball's got a better pace. And it's nice to see people like Scott say that. I'm glad to hear you say that. Let's hope that it is something. It was a dynamic World Series. Not the outcome that Toronto fans were hoping for, not the outcome that a lot of people were hoping for. Dynamic World Series.
The only thing that baseball does, and it can't really change, is just the long regular season, right? I mean, it's just like, can we just get straight to the playoffs? It's kind of like hockey. I mean, we're playing hockey now, but we're not going to be done till June. Yeah. And we're going to be talking about how great hockey playoffs are. We're like, it's the edge of your seat. But it's the regular season that kind of hurts baseball. But, yeah, I mean, and it's unfortunate, and it's just the way it is, that it goes into November, but you're playing on a night where college football is dominant, right? I mean, it'll be anxious to see what the ratings are for the World Series. But, you hope they're good numbers. But they delivered the entertainment factor. It was there.
That's it. And I think that the numbers for this World Series aren't nearly as important. I really don't. What's important is what it results in. How many people were actually tuned in on Saturday night that will be an important number, but I think really, Travis, does this actually start to spur a resurgence in that baseball love? I mean, dude, we're talking about America's pastime. When we were kids, it was impossible to think that baseball would ever lose its foothold. And it has. Football is absolutely king. There's no doubt about it. And damn, it seems like basketball is creeping up because a lot of people talk NBA and a lot of people are passionate about NBA off-season and stuff like that. Baseball, that's something that baseball does lack. The winter meetings don't have the thrill that they used to. Remember, it was hot stove league.
Yeah.
And you'd warm yourself up by thinking about baseball in the middle of winter. It's been a while since that's happened. That would be great if something like that could happen again.
Got big plans today?
Starting the day with a closing. Got a closing with Gary Presnall happening here at 9 o'clock. So I'll be racing up to Ankeny to get a closing done. Got to show a house in Granger. Got my buddy Chris moving back down from Minnesota. I helped Chris sell a house here in Des Moines and then buy a house in Windsor Heights. And then he moved up to Minnesota for job. And now he and his wife and baby boy, his son, are moving back down to Des Moines. So spent a lot of the weekend showing houses, and we'll see one more this morning before they head back up north. So,
now, I know you said you're not ready for college basketball to start. Will you watch the Cyclones tonight? Will you try to get in on some Drake, or is it just I'm kind of with you. It's like, okay, do I want to invest 2 hours to watch Fairleigh Dickinson to play Iowa State? I mean, I should just because of the nature of what I do, but I'm like, it's Fairleigh Dickinson, and you're a 35.5-point favorite. Maybe I just watch the first 20 minutes, and that's it.
Like, I kind of say it in jest and tongue-in-cheek, but it's not basketball season. I'm glad Mory told us that. I'm glad Mory said, man, this is the earliest it's ever been, because it feels really early for me. It does. Really does. And it does seem like college basketball especially – it takes a little bit of a warm-up. I mean, I'm still very much in football mode, especially with the Hawks having a lot of hope right now. Like, man, during the break, I'm literally thinking about Saturday. I'm thinking about, man, what's Kinnick going to be like? What happens if the Hawkeyes beat Oregon? What's Black and Gold Rush going to be like if they win that game by 3 points?
It's going to be incredible.
What's it going to be like if they lose by 1? Like, and yeah, I'm very much in basketball, or I'm very much in football mode, and it's going to take me a while for basketball to get going. Even, Trav, remember the Big Ten does that thing where we're going to, and I should look at the Iowa basketball schedule, but they'll have a Big Ten opponent here in the next couple of weeks because they kind of do that.
Yeah, Iowa plays Robert Morris tomorrow. So tomorrow they tip off the season against Robert Morris. I think they play their first Big Ten game in December, and I forget who it is. And I don't want to leave out the women that are in action tonight too. You have where you got the Iowa State women are at home at 11 o'clock this morning. The Iowa women are at home at 6:30 tonight. So you have women's basketball that kicks off too. But who's that first Big Ten game against?
So a month away, dude, and this is when it will start to really kick for me and feel like basketball season. When Michigan State, Iowa plays at Michigan State on December 2nd. Now they play Ole Miss on November 25th,
which will be a good game.
They got Xavier coming up on the 14th. That's a good basketball game. But yeah, Michigan State and Maryland on the 2nd and 8th of December. And then on December 11th, it's Iowa State.
You know, Mory did bring up that, college basketball didn't start till the weekend after Thanksgiving. We're talking the first week of November. Is that too early? I think it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Because what I'm saying.
That last weekend after Thanksgiving was like the end of the college football season. You went into college, but college football essentially was over. Here you're like, okay, we got a full month of college football left.
And useless basketball games. Like if Iowa loses to Robert Morris, then that game mattered a lot.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like these games are attention grabbers yet. So it's going to take me a while to get into mode, dude. So yeah, to answer your question, am I going to go out of my way today to watch basketball? No. In fact, I'll probably wait for my buddy Ryan Grove, who will be watching Iowa State today, and he will be sending us texts about how the team looked and all that. That will kind of be my exposure to it today. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch college basketball today.
Quick reminder that here in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn benefits the entire state. It feeds our livestock, nourishes our family, and provides homegrown, clean-burning, unleaded 88 for our vehicles. So pump it up with unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org to learn more. And we do want to welcome again Fiscus Jewelers to the Rush Radio family. When you need a new diamond or really any type of jewelry, Fiscus Jewelry in Ankeny is the place to go. We'll try. Great to have people just go, you know what? We want to be on the Rush. And that's
great
good to have.
Noel in the fold, man. He's always been a great supporter and a great friend. And, I've got some really good Noel stories. Maybe if we get him on, we can share some of them. But I'll tell you one of them off the air when we get done here, okay?
Thanks to everybody who listened and watched today. Don't forget, you can always watch the replay on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, or you can download the podcast version, which will be up in about 10 or 15 minutes. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's $25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's $25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's $25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hi, Nate Shoesmith with Willis Cadillac. I'm the newest addition to the team. Wanted to introduce myself and let you guys know what awesome deals we have on our EVs today. This month we have 2.9% up to 60 months on our Cadillac Optic, Lyriq, and Vistic. For all you Escalade fans out there, we are happy to have 3 in stock right now available. We also have this beautiful blue 2026 CT5V, new for the year color. If you'd like to schedule a test drive, visit us at williscadillac.com or visit our showroom today.
You've got enough on your plate, so when it's time to reset, grab a Fresca. Bold citrus, zero sugar, zero caffeine. Just clean, crisp refreshment that never goes out of style, whether it's post-work, post-gym, or just a break from the noise. Fresca's got your back. Pick up a Fresca at your local retailer today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you, taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the RushRadio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.